Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. Welcome to another day of HEDM's devotion. My name is Sister Shantel. You may see my shirt. It says Lara. That's my legal name, just in case you can see this. Still got my scrubs on, so please don't look at that. So my topic today is the tongue is the epitome of hypocrisy. So let's go into the meaning. Epitome, a person or thing that is the perfect example of a particular quality or type. Hypocrisy, the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform. Simple words. The behavior of people who do things that they tell others not to do. We all know that. I love the Message version of the Bible, and I always put them up together with the King James version of the Bible. So while doing my research, I came across the scripture, Matthew 23, where the Lord is speaking to the Pharisees, which were the religious leaders of the day, right? And in Matthew 23, he speaks about how these Pharisees were scholars, and we know that scholars are people that are well versed on a topic. So they were well versed in the word, but they were hypocrites, right? And also remember, the hypocrite, meaning of a hypocrite is a person that speaks the word and tells you not to do it, but still does it too. Okay, so I'm going to read the Message version just so you can hear a little bit of how juicy this really is, right? So this is the Lord speaking. I've had it with you. You're hopeless. You religion scholars. You Pharisees. Frauds. Your lives are roadblocks to God's kingdom. You refuse to enter and won't let anyone else in either. You're hopeless. You're religion scholars and prophecies, frauds. You go halfway around the world to make a covert, but once you get him, you make him into a replica of yourselves. You're hopeless. What arrogant stupidity. You say, if someone makes a promise with his fingers crossed, that's nothing. But if he swears with his hands on the Bible, that's serious. What ignorance. Does the leather on the Bible carry more weight than the skin on your hands? And what about this piece of trivia? If you shake hands on a promise, that's nothing. But if you raise your hand that God is your witness, that's serious. What ridiculousness is that? What difference does it make whether you shake hands or raise your hand? A promise is a promise. What difference does it make if you make your promise inside or outside the house of worship? A promise is a promise. God is present, watching and holding you to account regardless. So this is saying that we tend to do things, and I'm going to say we tend to pretend, right? Because a lot of us know how to talk well. A lot of us know how to persuade people, right? We can talk a good talk. We got that. But are we really practicing what we preach? Are we really taking heed to what we're saying to other people? For me personally, I feel that every time I do a devotion, I always make sure I put myself in it and then try to divide it that way. Put myself in whatever the topic is. How can I reap something from this? Because yes, I'm doing this because I want to win a soul for the Lord, but at the same time, I have to profit something off of this, right? So for me, it's like, okay, the things that I say, am I doing these things? Am I believing in these things? I do a little like morning testimony or something like that, I would say. I don't really know what to call it. On my Instagram every morning with like some words of encouragement, right? And I talk about how good the Lord is to me and how faithful he is and how merciful he is. But if I don't believe that, but I know how to speak it, right? Does that count because I'm going to help someone else? But am I actually believing? Am I actually trusting that his mercy is enough to carry me through? Am I trusting in his faith that I know that he will take care of me or continue to take care of me? Me personally, yes, because I've been through a lot. So I'm a living testimony that the Lord's faith and his mercy and his grace has brought me through. I just want to remind us, and I'm going to say us, because sometimes I may say something that I'm not really doing at the moment. But then I got to check myself, like, you about to be a hypocrite, girl. You need to fix that. No, that's not allowed, right? So let's be mindful that when we say things to other people, that we're saying things with a purpose. The purpose, you may not know the purpose, but your intention should be with a good purpose. There's purpose, there's bad purpose, and there's good purpose. Let your purpose be a good purpose. Let your purpose be something that you can stand tall on and stand strong on and say, okay, yes, I know that I made that person feel a little better today. Yes, I know that my 2 words that I said, good morning, made that person smile this morning on that elevator. Thank God for that. Let's not be hypocrites, knowing that we're hypocrites, knowing that we're saying something because we want to be in the in crowd or want to just have a conversation with someone just because. Let's have a purposeful conversation. Purpose is a real good word. It's a real good word. Let's have conversations with purpose, because remember that your one conversation with one person, you may talk to them for 30 minutes and they may just get one thing out of it. But that one thing that they get out of it, they're going to tell that to somebody else. And then that somebody else is going to get one thing out of their conversation with that person. And it's going to go down to somebody else and then somebody else and somebody else. And then look, by the time it's done, you have already infected one person that you know about. And that person done infected 2 more people. And that person affected another 5 people. And there you go. From your one conscious, purposeful conversation, you done infected 50 people and you didn't even know it. So let's make sure that we don't allow this tongue of ours to make us hypocrites. Let's make sure that we don't allow this thing that we use so loosely to make us hypocrites. Because we got some sweet talkers. We got some sweet talkers. But are you actually living by that sweet talk? Are you doing those things that you're telling other people to do? Think about that. Think about that and read Matthew 23. Matthew 23 also talks about, if you read the King James Version, it talks about woe. Woe is the explanation of grief. So there was 8 woes in Matthew 23, and in a few of the verses 13 through 16 and 25, 27, and 29, the Lord speaks about the woes. He was grieved. He was distressed. He was upset. Scholars. These Pharisees were religion scholars, meaning that they knew the word. They knew how to grab people in, but then they made them like them. Let's not do that. Let's not pull somebody in to make them negative or make them a hypocrite. Because we got to practice what we preach. We got to practice what we say. And we have to understand that that things that we do affects other people. Don't be selfish with yourself, because the aura and the conversations that you have affects other people. It touches someone else's life. It touches someone else's energy. It touches someone else's day. So know that when you walk and you step outside, you stand strong. Don't be a hypocrite. Watch your tongue. Think before you speak. Don't be quick to speak and not understand or not realize what you're saying until it's too late, because we can't take back a spoken word. We can apologize about it, but we can't really take back a spoken word. But we do have a merciful God. We have a faithful God. And if we trust in him, he will guide us all the way through. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Remember that anything you say can affect more than just the person you're saying it to. So that's my word I'm going to leave with you today. The tongue is the epitome of hypocrisy. So let's turn that over. Let's make sure that we say good things out of our mouths. Have a wonderful day. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I said that already. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed.